Welcome back to Arise Exchange. The debate continues on whether a college degree is worth it. Get this, nearly half of all college grads cannot find a job that requires a degree 2 years after graduating. Andy Lockwood is founder and president of collegeplanningGuru.com and the author of How to Pay Wholesale for College, and joins us to talk about what has to be a disturbing statistic historically. Is 2 years a very long time to wait for a job?
Look, there's all sorts of pressures that college graduates are under right now, and I think they're at historic highs. You've got an ever-increasing amount of debt. The average student graduates with $33,000 worth of debt. You've got all sorts of other things like defaults are on the rise. I think 1 out of 10 loans are in default. And it's just hard to get jobs, period, for anyone, whether you're a college grad or not.
Well, the pipeline of jobs is also more challenging because older Americans are staying in the jobs longer, I imagine, and that has sort of kind of clogged the pipeline a little bit.
Yeah, to some extent, of course, but you've also got a situation where, I think 46% of college graduates cannot find a job in the field that requires a college degree within 2 years.
Yeah, here's the bottom line. Are colleges doing the job that we're hiring colleges to do?
If you look at college the way I do, as its mission is to help kids not with 4 years, but the next 40 years of their lives, I think it's very questionable at best that they are doing a good job.
And why is that? Have we changed the focus for what people should be learning to basically areas of academia that are not being fruitful for getting a job?
I think it's very easy to go through college and learn nothing. So there's something called well, kids are studying less than they ever did before. Kids average an hour a day of studying in college. And there's something called the Collegiate Learning Assessment Test, which tests how well kids learn how to think critically. Critical thinking is the #1 skill that employers say they want from their
What does that mean, critical thinking?
It means the ability to deal with ambiguity, to be able to improvise. So, for example, if you're doing a math problem or you're filling in a yes or no bubble, it's either right or wrong. You get out in the real world, there could be 5 correct answers.
You know, the European system is different. I was talking to somebody, for example, in Australia about how they look at universities. People go to school almost vocationally. They want to be an architect, for example. They make that plan in high school. Should we be moving more towards that system instead of people going to college and you say, what do you want to do with your life? And you're like, I don't know.
Well, that actually is something I'm very obsessed with in my practice, and I thought it was a real deficiency. So we actually hired a career counselor because of that. Because the issue is that if you change your major 3 times and you take an extra 2 years to get out, you are paying an extra, I don't know, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 per year in tuition, and you lose the opportunity of working in those 2 years. So that's another $40,000, $50,000. That's $200,000. I think colleges and high schools could do a lot better job at preventing that $200,000 problem.
Okay, so you are a college grad, or you're getting close to being a college grad. What should you do to focus yourself and your resume to focus on what a employer wants to see?
Okay, they want critical thinking skills. Some majors are great for critical thinking skills, some are terrible. So examples of great majors: engineering, hard sciences like biology and chemistry and all that. Also, surprisingly to a lot of people, philosophy, literature, history.
I wrote a book called, based on, I love the book, The Tao of Pooh. So that could be an example of critical thinking. There was a time that was criticized.
Okay. I would never criticize you for that. And then here are some really bad majors. The soft sciences like psychology and sociology, teaching, sadly, and the most popular major is also one of the worst majors for critical thinking, business. So those are majors actually to stay away with counterintuitively if you want a career in business.
Well, because business is very numbers and accounting oriented and maybe not so much critical thinking, but by the numbers.
I think there's a lot of grade inflation and there's a lot of easy classes and not a lot of critical thinking skills that are taught. So on one hand, you should learn critical thinking. On the other hand, you need to get internships and you need to talk to the Career Center and ask them certain questions.
Should you also be showing that you are in fact working during college, if possible? Is that important or not so important anymore? Interning
is very important.
Interning in your field.
Yeah, in a field you're exploring. So I think before you choose a college, I think you need to walk into the Career Center and say, listen, I'm interested in studying this. What happened to the people last year who studied this? Who recruits? What companies or what corporations show up to recruit? Who did the best? Who majored in architecture last year? How did they, who got the best job interviews, and how do I get those interviews?
With 20 seconds left, should we take away the stigma of people who shouldn't be going to college but still can be successful in doing something?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because there's a stigma for that. And
as a college planner, it's ironic, I think, but I don't think everyone should go to college. And we see all sorts of examples of people who never went to college who have made millions and had a lot of success in other areas.
Andy Lockwood, author of How to Pay Wholesale for College. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Tomorrow on the Rise Exchange, long considered the drink of choice for celebrations, we will look at the business of the champagne market. Let's take a look at the final numbers once again. The nice comeback there for the markets over the last few days. The Dow finishing up better than 200 points. I'm Andrew Schmertz. Thanks for watching.